Alright, what you see in front of you is my Carolina twin troller. I got this gently used in 2012 and haven't seen any reviews where people were talking about it, so I thought I'd share a little bit of my own experiences with it and give you the pluses and a few detractors or things to at least consider if you're thinking about getting one of these yourself. On the positive side, which you'll see, and they'll market it to people at Carolina, and they should, it's no hands. It's great in that aspect. What you see in here are two pedals, and that is how you push this boat all over the place. And what you also do not see anywhere on this boat, and it's ready to go fishing again right now, is a trolling motor. They've got two of them inside the hull, located underneath. And let me see if I can possibly get you. Hopefully that's give you a little clue. They've got grates that cover that. Both the trolling motors on either side. They're two 40-pound thrust trolling motors, and it gets going pretty good. And any pond you're going to go on, it's going to be able to do what you need it to do. Now, on the detracting side, you can see this thing from front to back. You don't have a lot of room in this. If you've got more than 4 rods by yourself, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge switching things up fishing. And this thing is not light, so hence the trailer. Even in my youngest days, I would not want to be trying to drag this thing out of a truck. And I wouldn't suggest that to anybody else to even consider. So you're going to have a trailer and all the fun maintenance that comes with a trailer. One thing you see here, this is the current seat I've got on here. The seats that come with it, they're very comfortable and nice. But eventually, with use, they're going to come apart on you. So this seat I have on here, I took it from a bigger boat, which I've had since 2005, and put it on here. And I've got the other one over there. When I've got somebody going fishing with me, I can slide it on easy enough. But these things, they've handled a lot of fun times, and I traded them out and put them on here when the ones that came with it they rotted over time. And it's unfortunate. They were really comfortable, really nice, and I looked at the cost of replacing them, and it was excessive. I want to say that it was around 80-90 bucks, and that's not for a whole new seat, but just for the covers to put over the two portions to the seat. So there's that. Also, one other detractor on this thing, if you got a bunch of top surface layer of weeds, they will clog up in that underwater hull motor. So if you got some place that's super swampy, got a lot of weeds, this boat is going to be a frustration. I've got paddles and a push pole. Push pole's right there. I keep in here just in case I get stuck on something. That's one of the things that's so able to go so shallow. It's easy to get stuck on something. And short term, most of your situations, if you got a good net in there, you'll be able to just use that to push off. But that's another little detractor to this. I'm not trying to say don't get it. Lord knows I've used this thing. Before this, I had a bass hunter, which I used until it literally disintegrated on me. And I've used John boats a whole lot in years past. And John boat, the nice thing about that, you can take it out and drag it most anywhere and fish without a problem. This thing, you've got the trailer, and that's going to limit you some. With that being said, I fished a whole lot of farm ponds that didn't have anything even closely resembling a ramp to take this thing into the water on. It's yeah, as far as trailered boats go, it's on the lightweight side, shy of 200 pounds before you put all your goodies in there. But you just need to know what you're going to do and limit your tackle. I've got tackle bags, but as you can see here, I've got a few trays in here of tackle that I'm most likely to use when I'm going out on that particular fishing adventure. And they do come with these rod holders, which are awesome. And that's one of the things that is really great about this boat. Like I said earlier, you have these pedals. You do not need to be messing with a trolling motor. A lot of windy days, I would not even think about taking a John boat out fishing in years past. I can take this thing out when winds are in the teens, and I can actively troll with rods in both of these holders. And I've been blessed with days where I was able to catch 2 fish at the same time. And you can keep some of the pressure on what you think is the lesser of the 2 fish by pushing down on those trolling motors and trying to keep this thing straight and moving forward while you're winding in one of those fish on those occurrences where you got a really neat problem of having 2 fish on at the same time when you're fishing by yourself. And this thing is great when you got another person in here, and you can fix these rod holders any place you want them to go on here. I've actually got 4 of them on here. 2 came with it, and I got 2 additional, so you got somebody at the front can use them at the same time. What I had initially, I had 1 at the rear and then 1 forward for the other person. But like I said, I love trolling. Sometimes then when the fish are biting good and on the move, that's the best way I found to catch them, using this boat. I've trolled some in years past with a trolling motor on behind me. That's tough. And this thing is not going to be a problem in that regard. Bang for your buck, it costs a lot of money compared to a John boat, buying a trolling motor and a battery charger. This thing is going to be a lot more, even if you're blessed and lucky like I was to get one of these things used. It's going to cost a lot more than a brand new John boat and a trolling motor. But if you're really into fishing, you love it, and you want something that's going to do the job, I definitely think you might want to consider it. Hope this has been helpful. If you want to hear me talk more about how I've rigged this thing up and made it a little bit easier to fish and trailer, please make some notes in the comments and let me know.